Here, our goal is to calculate the size of angle A. Notice that we have a useful geometrical rule which states that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Also, another geometrical rule states that two angles are equal on an isosceles triangle. These two geometrical rules are going to be useful in us determining the size of angle A. Notice here that this triangle that we're dealing with is an isosceles triangle. How do we know that? Because notice we have this line or the stroke here on this side of the triangle, and we also have the same stroke on this side of the triangle. Now, because they only have one stroke, that means that these two sides are equal in length. And so that means that two sides, we know for sure that two sides of this, we know for sure that at least two sides of this triangle are equal. And so here, that means that this side is equal to this side. That means that they're equal in length. And if you have two sides that are equal, that means that the two angles are going to be equal as well. And you're looking at an isosceles triangle. So that means that angle A and angle B must be equal because these lengths are also equal and because we're dealing with an isosceles triangle. Okay, so we know that this angle right here, this is a box, and the box indicates that this is 90 degrees. And we know if we add A plus 90 plus B, all of them should add up to 180 degrees. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to say A is going to be equal to 180 minus 90. So we're going to subtract 90, the same 90, from 180 degrees. Now that's going to leave us with 90 degrees left. But we know that these two angles are the same, they're equal. And so we have to divide that 90 that we got by 2 because there are two angles here which are equal, all right? And so we say 90 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 45 degrees, which means that angle A is equal to 45 degrees. And if angle A is 45 degrees, angle B is also 45 degrees because these two angles are equal in measure. And so angle A is equal to 45 degrees. Let's move on to the next question. Here, they want us to determine the size of angle B. Since we are dealing with an isosceles triangle, and we already know that the size of angle A is 45, the size of angle B must also be 45 degrees as well. So the size of angle B is 45 degrees because two angles are equal on an isosceles triangle. Now let's move on to the next question. Here, we want to determine the size of angle C. Notice that for angle B, we know that angle B is 45 degrees, but we want to determine what is the size of angle C. Here, we use an important or useful geometrical rule which states that angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees, which means that if you notice carefully, that these two angles are on a straight line, they are at a common point, and they must add up to 180 degrees, which means that 45 degrees plus angle C must add up to 180 degrees. And so in order to determine the size of angle C, what we're going to do is we're going to say 180 minus 45. And 180 minus 45 is definitely 135. And so that means that the size of angle C is 135 degrees.